You can't create a new life with an old mindset. And the good news is you don't have to. You can train your mind the way you train your body. You can build emotional muscles. You can choose your thoughts instead of being ruled by them. So don't wait for clarity. Create it. Don't wait for confidence. Build it. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. Welcome to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, where we explore the keys to unlocking your full potential and living your best life. I'm your host, Jose Johnson. Whether you're looking to make a breakthrough, overcome a challenge, or simply live with greater clarity, joy, and purpose, you'll find the tools and inspirations you need right here. So let's start your journey towards personal mastery and growth right now. Welcome back to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, your go-to resource for practical tips, insightful research, and inspiring stories to help you unlock your full potential. I'm your host, Jose Johnson, and I'm an expert in mindfulness, mindset, and peak performance, and I'm truly honored to have you with me here today because this episode is going to be a little more personal than usual. Today, I want to share the story behind why I created the Mindset Makeover, my signature course, my book, and in reality, the heartbeat of everything I do. Look, we talk a lot on this podcast about change, how to improve your habits, your focus, your emotions, your life. But at the core of it all is this one simple truth. If you don't change your mindset, nothing else will change for long. And I know that, not just because I've read the research or taught it in a workshop, but because I've lived it. So today, I want to take you behind the scenes, not just into the science and the strategy, but into the story. So let's get into it. Let me start with this. Most people don't struggle because they're lazy or unmotivated or broken. They struggle because they're trying to change their life using the same mindset that created the problem in the first place. They try to be more confident, but deep down, they believe they're not enough. They try to be more disciplined, but underneath, they think they always quit. They try to pursue a big dream, but the voice in their head says, people like you don't do things like that. And here's the thing, mindset is often invisible. It's like your operating system. You don't even realize it's running the show until it crashes. That's why I created the Mindset Makeover. Because after years of working with leaders, creatives, athletes, educators, and everyday high performers, people who were already trying, I realized this. You don't need more willpower. You need a better operating system. And the good news is you can install one. You can literally rewire the way you think, respond, and show up. But before I knew how to teach that, I had to learn it the hard way. All right, so let me take you back to the beginning. When I was around 6 years old, I was the kid who got beat up a lot. I was small, quiet, and not particularly confident. So my father enrolled me in karate classes so that I can learn to defend myself. And it worked better than we thought. Here's the thing, I didn't suddenly become Bruce Lee, but I learned something powerful. The way you see yourself changes the way others see you. When I started walking into school with my head up, my posture strong, my energy centered, people treated me differently. It was my first experience of how mindset isn't just internal, it shapes your entire experience. Now let's fast forward to when I was a teenager, maybe 16 or 17, and I had one of those pivotal conversations with my mother. She said something that has stuck with me for my entire life. She told me, your father and I have tried to teach you right from wrong, but from here on out, you're responsible for what you do and who you choose to become. Now, that was my first real introduction to the empowered mindset, the realization that my future wasn't predetermined by circumstances or expectations. It was shaped by the decisions that I made every day. That conversation planted the seed for everything I now teach about ownership, self leadership, and intentional living. Now, let's fast forward a few more years. I was a young touring professional musician. Now, from the outside, I looked confident, but inside, I had crippling stage fright, especially when I had to play a solo. It got so bad that I actually went back to martial arts, not for self defense this time, but to learn how to manage my fear. And it all came to a head during a martial arts performance. I was standing backstage about to perform in front of some of the world's top masters, and the nerves started flooding in. But in that moment, something clicked. I realized that anxiousness and excitement are almost identical physically: racing heart, sweaty palms, butterflies. The only difference? It's the story you tell yourself. And right then, I chose to reframe it. Instead of, I'm nervous, I told myself, I'm excited. Instead of, what if I mess this up? I asked, what if this is the moment I shine? That shift was everything. It was my first real experience of the positive mindset, the power of perspective, and the truth that you can choose your emotional lens. But nothing tested my mindset more than what happened when I was in my early 40s. I was diagnosed with cancer. Now, what was supposed to be a fairly routine diagnosis quickly escalated into something far more serious. It was aggressive, life threatening. I faced surgery, complications, near death moments, and side effects that I still deal with to this day. But that experience gave me two gifts I wouldn't trade for anything. First, the accepting mindset, the ability to sit with pain and fear without resistance, and the resilient mindset, the part of me that got up every day, even when I didn't feel strong, and said, let's go again. Now, that season taught me that mindset isn't just about success, it's about survival. And the people who thrive, who grow, who keep moving forward, they don't just have better habits, they have stronger mindsets. Now, all of these moments and dozens more shape my understanding of what it really takes to change, not just on the surface, but deep, lasting transformation. And I realized something. Most personal development programs focus on strategies, time management, goal setting, productivity hacks, all important, but all incomplete if the mindset behind them is broken. And that's why I built the Mindset Makeover as a system, not a quick fix. It's not about positive thinking, it's about rewiring your default settings. It's about identifying the unconscious scripts that you inherited about success, failure, worth, power, identity, and giving you the tools to rewrite them on your terms. Because here's the thing: mindset isn't one dimensional. You don't have a good mindset or a bad one. Mindset is a system, a mental operating code made up of many different components. And that's why in the Mindset Makeover course, I teach 14 specific mindsets that work together to shape how you think, feel, act, and grow. Now, those 14 mindsets are the growth mindset, abundance, positive, courageous, empowered, trusting, resilient, mindful, accepting, purpose driven, collaborative, balanced, holistic, and proactive. Now, each one of these serves a purpose. Each one unlocks a different area of transformation. And in the book, I chose to focus on 9 core mindsets so that the material is highly digestible, focused, and powerful. No fluff, just transformation. The Mindset Makeover book is built around 9 core mindset shifts, organized into 3 progressive tiers: the foundations of transformation, the growth mindset, the abundance mindset, and the positive mindset; the pillars of personal power, which covers the resilient, accepting, and empowered mindset; and the path to aligned action, where we dive into the courageous, the holistic, and the proactive mindsets. Now, each one addresses a specific psychological barrier, or performance block. Each one is grounded in research. Each one has a story behind it, many of which you've heard in episodes just like this. So, why does this matter so much right now? Well, we're living in a world that's changing faster than ever. Distraction is the norm, burnout is on the rise, and anxiety is becoming the default emotional state. And in that kind of environment, mindset isn't just important, it is essential. It's the difference between breaking down or breaking through, of reacting to life or responding with purpose, of surviving the chaos or shaping your own reality. And that's what the Mindset Makeover is all about. And that's why I'm on this mission, not just to teach tools, but to help people remember that you are not your past, you're not your patterns, and you're not powerless. You can change your life. And it starts with changing the way that you think. All right, so let's get practical. One of the most important and often overlooked realizations that I had on this journey is that your mindset doesn't just affect how you think, it affects everything. And that's why I included the holistic mindset as one of the core principles in both the Mindset Makeover course and book. A holistic mindset means that you stop viewing your life as a collection of disconnected parts. Your work's over here, your health's over there, your relationships in another box, and you start seeing the whole system of your life. Because here's the truth: your thoughts, they affect your emotions. Your emotions, well, they affect your physical health. Your mental state affects your performance at work. Your inner beliefs affect your communication with others. Your stress levels, they affect your sleep. Your energy, well, it can affect your food choices. And your patterns affect your finances. When your mindset is misaligned, it creates ripple effects across every area of your life. But the flip side's also true. When you upgrade your mindset, you upgrade your entire life. And that's the power of thinking holistically. So here's a simple 3-step practice that you can use each week to begin thinking more holistically. Let's start with the whole life check in. Take a moment to reflect on the 5 key areas of your life: the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the financial. Now, ask yourself, where am I thriving and where am I just surviving? Write down one word or phrase for each pillar. Next, connect the dots. Look for patterns. Is your lack of energy affecting your relationships? Is financial stress impacting your sleep? Is your lack of spiritual connection leaving you feeling disconnected or burned out? Remember, these areas don't operate in isolation. And finally, choose a mindset anchor for the week. Pick one mindset. Maybe it's resilience, trust, or gratitude, and use it as your lens for the week. So, for example, if you choose empowered, ask yourself every day, what would an empowered version of me do today in my health, my work, or my finances? This creates alignment across all aspects of your life, not just one, because true growth isn't siloed, it's integrated. And that's what the holistic mindset helps you to cultivate: a life where all parts of you work together, not against each other. So here's your challenge for the week: take one moment from your past, good or bad, and ask, what mindset did I have back then? And what mindset did I need to move forward? This kind of reflection is very powerful because when you name the mindset, you gain the power to shift it. And if this episode has resonated with you, and if you're ready to upgrade your thinking, rewrite your patterns, and step into your next level, you can order the Mindset Makeover book right now or enroll in the Mindset Makeover course, a self paced experience designed to help you assess, reset, and rewire your mindset from the inside out. And you can do it all at josejohnson.com/mindset. Now, both resources walk you through the exact systems that I've used to transform my own life and to help hundreds of clients do the same. Look, this isn't theory, it's real, it works, and I'd love to be your guide. So here's what I want you to remember. You can't create a new life with an old mindset. And the good news is you don't have to. You can train your mind the way you train your body. You can build emotional muscles. You can choose your thoughts instead of being ruled by them. So don't wait for clarity. Create it. Don't wait for confidence. Build it. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. So thanks for spending time with me today. And if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone else who needs to hear it. And be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It really does make a difference. So until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, and keep showing up for the life that you're meant to live. And always remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great. Thanks for tuning in. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that the information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or treatment. While the content of this podcast is based on research and personal experience, everyone's situation is unique, and the advice given may not be applicable to all. Always consult a qualified professional before making significant changes in your life. The Personal Mastery and Growth podcast is recorded at the So Good Media Studios, located in the Candy Factory, a co-working space in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.